Right, well, gentlemen, time to begin day number 3 here for week 5 PEL Phase 2 as the runway lights up and the plane. It's always catching me off guard is this, because before it was going forward, now it's always going back, and I'm not used to it, guys, but we're here. It's ready. It's Miramar. It's time. It's Sims. It's Demon. Let's go, boys. Game number 57.
Thank you very much, guys, and yes, and first off, I'll start off saying Happy Father's Day, Richard.
Thanks.
Happy Father's Day. Richard's first ever Father's Day. Here
it would
we
be
go.
Nice to be with him, but I'm sure it'll be tomorrow. We'll be fine.
He's not going to know, is it?
A
Really?
free meal.
He's only a little one. He's not going to be any the wiser. But here we go.
I'm hoping for a mug.
A mug.
Yeah,
A mug.
I'd love a damn
See what
mug.
your missus has bought you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we've got seagulls, it seems. There we go. That's great. So the plane path, it is cutting straight across Porto Paraíso up to Alcantara, I should say. And it does mean that Razor Edge do make the adjustment. Obviously, Cruz de Val not really viable for them. And with the drop there, ENCE have gone for a really wide spread this time. They've been spreading wider and wider as we've gone. G2 also making adjustments. They've gone down south of Los Leones. South? Where is going on with my English? Normally, obviously, in El Azahar. Other than that, I think everybody is in standard positions.
Yeah, usual thing. If anyone else up in the north wanted to go a bit further, you know, El Azhar, as you mentioned, Cruz de Val, something like that. It's a little bit difficult.
It's such a minefield, right? Anyone to get across, because you've got TSM, NIP, Vitality, Unity, and the Circle. Well, it could be interesting. You know, me and Lauren, we've been egging on, trying to get Los Higos or Prison or something like that as a Circle. Still don't think it'll ever happen on this patch.
It's really hard given the small amount of water in between. And again, we kind of spoke about this one yesterday. The only way you're going to get it is if you get now Circle 1, the hardest of hard shifts all the way south, and then it'll just home into it. I mean, still, with a small amount of water, there's no guarantee there. But yeah, I've personally never seen one in competition. It'd be interesting to see one. I will say that. A weird and wonderful play. We've had the Island Circle.
They had
over
one on the Contenders, right? I think in one of the group stages of Contenders. This split.
Yeah, I've never had the pleasure of casting one.
I can imagine it's just
weird,
as wild as the island on the right.
Yeah. I think the most important thing we need to speak about here is where Digital Athletics are. They could move just south a little bit, not too far, up into the Darker Mountain area and really take a pivotal position here on anyone who just wants to come flying their way. You get a lot of overview, a lot of overwatch of everything that happens from those darker areas, and it's really the simple fact that you have full 360 vision of all players that are going to be rotating around you. And it's basically King of the Mountain. They could play this at the moment, and they're going to be in the strongest point. Everyone else has to come down. It's going to be a bit of a cluster battle at the top, especially when you think that all that western coast and all the southern coastal road, it's basically just dead space.
Yeah.
You can really trap
slice
somebody
off
else
like a half moon in that circle.
In theory, we've only got 60% of the map in play. You're not going to go down to the island area because you wouldn't expect it to happen. So where DA are, just below that to the south, is going to be really, really hard contested and hard fought. Constantine's got a really good idea. You can see him now on M19 moving to one of the stronger compounds. Take that early, get a foothold on it. M19 doing the usual thing where they go for a very, very open split. They do a good job to be able to get themselves together after Circle 1 and they do group back up. Whether that still pays dividends, because they have not the best of seasons so far, but I mean, they're still playing well in the phase.
So we're seeing some adjustments here from certainly Team Liquid. We just heard from 17 on there, so talking about how they're adjusting. And if you think back to week 1, 2, 3, Team Liquid were always moving, obviously, on the 4-minute mark, usually a little bit before to center up. Well, they've been doing that at the start of the weeks, and they've been getting gone out. DA have been there, CrowCrowd have been there. They've kind of been bumping into one another. This time they're going a little bit later. They are going to have Unity right on their backs, though. As the Knights, you can see the Knights mobilizing. Everybody's starting to get in their vehicles now, looking for those spots. I expect FaZe to go maybe a little more central. They have one from this compound that they're in at the moment before, but I expect them to come across. They're well aware that DA are going to be there or thereabouts. I'm surprised that DA are leaving that plateau and Commissera, because I feel the circle is going to shift back, certainly north, some direction here.
I mean, further afield, what I've spoke about, these darker hilltops are, they just give you a lot more leverage and a lot more ground control. You can do so much more from up there, and you can play off the back of it. They might even find themselves a free point if they find Constantine. M19 is down, unfortunately, in 15th place coming into this. And I was speaking about it just a second ago, how, yeah, it's been a rough season for them, a rough phase. Phase 2, they had a rough phase number 1, to be honest. And were they the only team without a win in the end?
Yes,
1?
yeah. It was only until this phase. They didn't win anything at kickoff either. It was this phase. It took them something like 60-plus games to get that first victory.
Any points that you can think from their gameplay that's been a bit lackluster and
M19 is generally just very splintered. It's almost the same story as CrowCrowd, yet CrowCrowd have more consistency, right? They did pick up Dimash, and he has been fantastic, but he is also very much a solo player. He tends to be always away from his team, always dying away from his team, and Wanderer generally is the guy that's the last man standing that has to try and pull something out. Well, here they are again. They have got 3 players within reach of one another here, so Dimash in there with Elite Player and Constantine. Wanderer is the solo guy, and DA right on their backs.
I think what M19 could do with now is one of the vehicles pulling up, just to at least push. I mean, I wouldn't push, but it would give DA the information and make them stall for a second.
I don't think they have any clue that DA are here.
No, I don't either.
They're just looting.
And I think
right?
that's why if someone pulled up in a vehicle, it will make. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd give a point. It would bait them into springing, but it would then at least hold them back for a second.
We saw it yesterday, right, with Team Liquid when they used the pizza to bomb in on the bike while James was holding the angle.
Yeah, there's a few things that could be done for it. And again, I like to talk about quite a lot the audible cues in this game are very, very key. A decent set of cans on your head.
Okay, they hit it. Dimash just went for a flank there, and they had to engage, so they're aware that DA are around here, but Iroh has the angle up on the off-angle position, used the bike to get around there, so they have a full spread around the backside of M19, but they've got to be careful because other teams are positioning around them now. You just saw a glimpse of Unity, and they have a real shot onto Iroh. You can see Iroh in the distance there. A lot of tracer fire coming towards him on that bike.
I also think FaZe Clan can see this one from across the road, so there might be a few long shots here. Dimash is
going to have a good shot down low. Wanderer's joined him as well. This is not good for DA. Suddenly the disengagement. Iroh, oh no, he got caught on the bike there onto the tree. It leaves Mert floundering. I think that is FaZe Clan, like you say, trying to steal that kill away, but it's going to be Dimash that will confirm it. Wanderer's also got an angle. Constantine finds another, and this has just gone horribly, horribly wrong for Digital Athletics.
When you're up on that ridge line there, you have to expect that people are going to be flooding the backside of that one. And that's another point for M19, to be honest with you. They should have been very aware. Oh.
This is G2 and Razor Edge coming into the compounds, talking about pulling it. Yeah, that's honk for a warning indeed. Razor Edge, heed that warning. Menox almost running over Sigsy there as he backs away, but they're going to just join up. So the 2-2 split, yeah, too risky, going back down to the teammates.
It's not going to be the best place in the world, but certainly one that they can survive through. All the way down that angle, we'll nip back and just check in with M19. Again, when you're going for this point on the map and going for something like this, you do have to expect that there are going to be teams lingering and there are going to be teams moving towards it. James straight onto set, finds him. Easy knockdown with the M4. 4 times on the back, nice little spray from that one. Taps him away and takes the good amount of range away from Unity here. Excuse me, it's not even Unity, is it? It's my bad. It's CrowCrowd.
It's CrowCrowd who took, yeah.
That's their scout. That's one of their lead. One of their stronger fraggers, to be honest with you. Instead, he's a bit of a marksman in himself.
He's the leader, I think, for the team as well.
He can land a few pop shots, so it takes a large capacity of fragging capability. But I tell you what, Tab can do it as himself. Yep. 3 times on the back with the minute, and that'll be James, I think, confirmed unless he can get down the hill. Yeah, he's not getting out of that one. Has the angle, so Senpai will be the one that confirms it on the left side there. Good refrag. Keb is even going to get set back on his feet as well, so CrowCrowd not going to lose anything, but they are massively widespread once again. And Tab's shots have absolutely drawn the attention of M19 here. Set, though, has been stolen away. Kramer with the kill. That'd have been a huge bonus if they could have picked him back up to get the connection onto James and trade it off, get him on his feet and continue on as a 4-man stack, but unfortunately they do not. And it looks like, you know what, M19 have actually left their compound. They want to get involved in this. I saw them on top of the hill, and now they're going to make them pay for it. All those shots that have been going off are basically just giving away CrowCrowd's position. And that's standard CrowCrowd, right? Massive, wide spread, not able to refrag, not able to help anything out there. So while Set was caught out down low, they went down to get the revive. Tab was up on high. And that's just it. There's nothing they can do to back him up. FaZe Clan getting pressured. NIP moving on the hills next to them, but I think FaZe has spotted it. You can see he's took some damage. And Gaxi, his position is known. You'd expect both of these teams to have some kind of information, especially if Gaxi saw the door open and close behind him. Mexi spots somebody who's that in the distance. If
FaZe
not,
backing out.
it might have actually potentially even been a bit of a warning sign. It might have been shooting at nobody. Orange finds 2 members of TSM. Excuse me, no, they're both back to back. And that's the advantage of working as a group. Unfortunately, turn up on the bike. Michael and Rory are sent away, they're packing.
Yeah, that was TSM losing 2. So TSM down 2, DA down 2, CrowCrowd down 2. Now we're seeing some rotates. Oh, Gustav's in trouble as well. That's TSM down 3 now. This has not started off well for them. I don't know where the remaining member is. He's outside Commissary. Yeah, Wookie's going to have to play this one slow.
That's the emergency backup left to stand. I'm trying to think who... I think Mexi was either doing 2 things. He was putting some firing shots across to Winstrike, just a bit of a warning. Or he might have been able to try and bait NIP into the fight, because they do have the height advantage on NIP to FaZe Clan. Vitality taking up on the hillside.
They've just abandoned. That's another compound. They've completely bailed.
Okay,
compound,
so maybe it was a bit of a warning to give them. Just back off for now.
Vitality moving up onto this hillside. They are close to CrowCrowd in this. There is only 2 members of CrowCrowd left in there defending, remember. And well, some long-range shots coming out from Orange there, trading back and forward with FaZe Clan, it seems.
You can just see it on the map. Rec are going to have a difficult entry point if they decide to move forward on their circle. If you look at this, Shiv, he's got 2 teams directly standing in front of him. That's a wall of Finnish players they need to break through first. And then after they've done that, I mean, this could potentially go...
That's 3 in a car.
Yeah, this could go really right or really wrong. They either get completely battered on arrival here, or ENCE actually engages with G2, draws their attention, and they can backstab them. But I think looking at the arrows and the markers that I'm seeing from ENCE, they are very aware that Rec are about to turn up.
Well, Mexi knocked. He's going to get revived by FaZe. You can see as ENCE is going to go for the cross there. So some long-range trade back and forward between these 2. Everybody else inside the circle, apart from Reciprocity, as you mentioned. 3 in that vehicle. It's risky. ENCE are going to be here in the car coming as well. So we'll see whether Trifili or Rustanmar have an angle.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Kainz, did he just see Kramer there or not?
Yeah.
I feel like he must have. Absolutely. Finishes him down. Quick spray down from the Scar. Jazz is a long way off to try and get the support in here. It's a smoke. You don't want to smoke him out. He's like, damn it, I don't have any nades. What is going on?
And just look at the play from him instantly. He doesn't go for the confirmation. He doesn't tunnel vision onto the single player. He looks to his right-hand side to see what level of support or backup that Kramer had. Always been aware it's so key and so vital in PUBG that if you're going to go for one, there might be a second player lingering in the distance unless you CrowCrowd and playing split. Not a lot of these teams tend to do that, and it feels to me like ENCE have actually engaged onto Reciprocity.
Yeah, Rec, they pulled up with 3 in a vehicle, so it was very much common knowledge that they had arrived, and it's not gone well for them, it seems.
in the back.
ENCE completely catching them off guard. There's the remaining vehicles. Rafi, he's on nothing. He's going to have to duck down, and Shiv, well, he's going to have to go huge here. That nade's going to miss its target. Shiv gets 1, confirms it, finds Mikaz, has another peek onto Squeaky. Trifili goes for the second peek, catches Trifili's head. That leaves 1 man standing. Rafi's going to get the first aid off, but can he get back up quick enough to save Scoom?
I think with this hillside that they have, G2 are still tapping at ENCE's heels here. We mentioned it that they could backstab into this one, but I think they may have pulled them off for now. Brexco takes the damage onto Rafi. He's looking for this res. I think he's going to be out in the open here. This is maybe suicidal if he goes for that res. The grenade might just hide his footsteps for now if he goes when the explosion's up, but I reckon Rustaman knows exactly where he is.
Well, he got Scoom with that one. That was a quick, easy done, and Rafi's been left in the lurch, in the blue. We'll see all their backs, but is it worth going for it? No, because Kane's catching him out there. Fuzz just had a mistake on his bike.
Did he go off the edge of the cliff, or...?
I don't know, but it's not gone well for FaZe. They've lost multiple. I think Uber's the last man standing. Maybe ENCE's in there as well. Yes, ENCE's still there. Here's the push from Trifili. It's FaZe's repositioning. We were trying to keep our eye on there. NIP are going to make full advantage of this one. ENCE's getting himself healed off in that smoke. Going to get back up and back inside, but they have to watch the NIP push from behind. Meanwhile, ENCE, they've got in that vehicle. They've just taken from Reciprocity, and it has all gone wrong, bailing out. They've managed to stay alive. Squeaky's going to turn and try and fight this one. Trifili gets the hay bales as well.
Yeah, the hay bales have kind of saved him for now, but the crossfire is absolutely real. The Germans let rip, unfortunately. The Finns will be losing some players out in the field. Squeaky, I don't know how he's alive. He's currently playing an Ibiza-style meta of jump between smokes. Still got 2 directly in front of him. And again, these smokes, they can hide you for only so long. You eventually, A, have to come out from them, or B, as you'll see on screen now, they just give you some sort of information where the player's going to be lurking and lingering. Another smoke up. Squeaky has to show his face. There's about 4 seconds left on his previous one.
Oh, Chris, that's such a good nade. He's going to force Squeaky to move forward, but he took a big chunk of damage in the back. He's going to try and creep forward ever closer. FaZe, meanwhile, getting completely surrounded by NIP. They're starting to work the way down the hillside. He's just going to have to use the smoke to get out of that one. Squeaky's going to do similar. Just continuing the smoke trails forward. ENCE completely separated from Uber here. Oh, that nade.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Bish, bash, bosh. Bounces off the side. The second one's following up. And the confirmation will be there. NIP pick up another point. FaZe are getting cleaned from 2 different angles here. NIP in the back, Winstrike in the front. They cleaned up, I believe, both Mexi and Fuzzface previously. I could be wrong there. Navi are just ahead of the game and just ahead of them, and so are Reg. Watch for them to be clashing rather shortly, just to the west. But still, M19.
Yeah,
they're not quite central. The Wanderer is.
But look at the circle position. This is what DA were fighting for, right?
Good.
This was the compound they wanted, and now proving that that central point could have worked out well for them, but they weren't able to get it. However, the edge of Kumiseri is also in there, and that would have been safe territory. Here comes Navi, though, up the hillside into Raise Your Edge. He's back. I think Menox maybe just caught an angle on them and saw them coming, so the warning signs are certainly out there. Also, shots coming in. That's Winstrike, I believe it is, trading shots down towards them. Sigsy catches a little angle on the rock.
It is definitely a nice angle from Sigsy, but he is damaged. A bullet did come flying. Here's where the nades are coming.
Nice on the hand.
Yeah, they're absolutely just cementing that building full of grenades. He's going for the confirmation here. I'd like to see him move to the second player, which he does, rather than being focused fire onto one, but there are plenty of grenades. Also, a molly coming his way. They've boxed him into a corner and they burn him alive as well. That's rather unfortunate. So there will be a retrade off there. At least Pokemon has somehow
got in the house.
God knows how's got inside this building. Low ball grenade needs to be aware of the player coming around the door. Does at least tag up Menox, puts him down instantly into the grave, buries him. Job done. Stays alive, no idea how. And they've made this work. I don't know how they've made this work, but they've managed to get up to the buildings.
Yeah, this is just a brute force push almost with Pokemon. They're just surging up that hill. Bestalosh, his flank worked well on Sigsy and it removed that threat. As you mentioned, you know, maybe in Sigsy's view, maybe, yeah, he wanted to flush it and get the point, but maybe he could have gone for the quick double takedown and that would have stopped them dead in their tracks. It would have prevented a doozy getting in there. Fast Rail separated from Chris. They both hold in the front door angle. Question is, who's watching the windows?
I have to kind of question the communication and thought process there. That's a really good grenade. That should do some damage.
Yes.
He gets a 2-for-1 as well. Okay. Now on the back foot, Pokemon, I think, is the last man standing for Navi. So an absolute world star of a grenade does its job.
Ooh, meanwhile, this is happening in the north. We have NIP, the Knights, and Unity all clashing with one another. In between the little ditch there, we saw obviously G2, they're getting involved. That's down the south. Vitality, G2, and Team Liquid all involved with each other. So multiple team fights happening right now as we see Raise Your Edge continue to try and force out Pokemon, the remaining member of Navi in there. I think this is going to go on for a while, though, so we should probably cut and watch the rest of the action. Here's Uber, last man standing for FaZe Clan, trying to creep his way in. He's being protected to a point by Winstrike as he now strikes from the bushes. He's going to go down, and that is FaZe going out in 14th place.
Lobs a death grenade, but won't be picking else off from it. Kaint at least claims one. I think he did. He not
G2
get that steal? Yeah, okay, well, they've just been picked apart by Liquid. 5 kills, not bad. They have lost 2, unfortunately. I want to just quickly talk about this one for a second. In the fact that seeing Menox running around outside and then running straight into the building, and seeing the fact that Pokemon was inside the building, I have to question the communication. I don't know how they let Navi get so up close and personal inside. They had the height advantage. They had the line of sight to be able to deny anything. You mentioned just pure aggression and brute force. Getting inside that compound did pay off. They did pick up 2 players, but still, that grenade coming out, I think it was from Chris, to pick up a 2-for-1 is fantastic work.
Bound to get busy in the north, isn't it? NIP coming up the hill. The Knights there. Unity just the other side of the lump. And it's all getting third-partied by...
Just be aware in this one, Lee. Sorry to break you off.
Yeah, Reels'
position. Yeah. He's behind all of this. Is he? If they... Which way are they actually looking? I'm trying to calculate this up now. Will he have an angle? Yes, he will. Okay, they see him for sure. They've all just opened up. But now maybe he can bait them towards him.
Probably just wondering where the shot's coming from behind. A couple of taps. Oh, there's a great nade coming over. Gaxi chucks another, but that's going to force Unity. They all quickly disengage, avoid the nade damage. The Knights, they got themselves that little shack in there. M19 are also putting pate to Winstrike, trying to make their way up. Everybody that was down south all needs to move up on towards the backside of M19 as we watch this, the battle. Reels, we were talking about his off-angle position. It was actually Orange's nade that managed to get the damage onto Gaxi there. Reels just trying to confirm it.
He's been a nuisance in the back lines. And
Raf is still alive. He's still down in the blue.
Now he's gone. M19 just picked him up. That's an individual kill. Real's still been a complete nuisance here. Goes for the shoulder peek and is forced back. At least does get one.
Oh, the
gets
hit
a second
spray.
one as well. Go on, lad.
That is some brilliant stuff. We saw him last week against Vitality going massive.
Dead.
NIP gone. Blast on finishing him off there. And Reels picking himself up 3 kills. You sort of talked about that off angle, that nuisance position, and by God it is. And now the Knights move on Unity.
They are being crushed from 2 different angles. Real's just been dictating what's going on from down low, telling his teammates where all these players are, and they are just wiping out team after team. You see NIP fall, and all of a sudden it's only Orange, last man standing for Unity.
And he's trying to make a run for it, but he's going head on in towards Digital Athletics. It beats us also flanking around, having a look at this. He's miles from Gempty. Team Liquid gone for a massive wide spread, with the 2 players remaining. Fast Rail picked off by the Wanderer. M19 doing what they can on this hill. They're really taking quite a few kills as Fast Rail gets confirmed. They've dealt with Winstrike down to just Jaworski, and now you can see Gempty's caught Nasus on the run. That's Vitality falling in 10th.
Can't say how good that position from Reels was to draw NIP's attention and then to move, allow his team basically just to flood behind and completely wipe out Unity. To be a one-man band on his own and stand his ground in that compound, fantastic work. Really, really read that one well, and now he'll regroup with his teammates, which is fantastic. So all 3 of them will get themselves back up and just hunt down Orange, the last player from Unity. They need to be careful. There's a couple of snakes in the grass lingering up there. You've got Abisa on one side, Gempty on another. On the opposing side, we've got 2 snakes as well. We've got Chris, we've got Rafi. There's a lot of individual solo players here. Rec, Regi Reg, Winstrike, Unity, all with single individual players.
Well, DA still with 2 in the ditch. The mentality that actually got them 2nd place last time. I think G2 came out on top in that game previously when they were just sitting in the ditch. Here's Rafi and Chris. Just the other side of the hill, the 2 solo players left. 9 teams with just 16 alive. It's a lot of snakes going on here. But this is a team that's looking to try and flush out those snakes. They know that Orange is in and around here somewhere, which is why they're moving as a 2, as a pair, to try and back it out. But I think they've totally lost track of him, and Orange might go for this in the back. He will. Turns onto Wanted, tries to get the spray on Reels. Quick trade, but now we might see other teams trading on this. Yes, Digital Athletics are up on the feet and they're looking.
What's so important about this now for all these individual players, as you can see, we're just losing team after team. We've gone from 9 to 7. Individual snakes, it's not just it's not just the frag point you're going to get, but you're also going to jump up a placement. So these kills are really vital when it comes to points. This is going to be a big... it's an overzealous play. I mean, he's built so many smokes that they won't actually know where Wanted is, so a couple of the grenades will fall flat for now, but you can see Liquid are going to read on this. They want to get involved, potentially. The odd long ball might... I tell you what, if he somehow makes this, I'm going to be impressed. That's a lot of utility that he's just committed, though. Especially for the late game, you won't be able to take these smokes. They're gone. He has to get the res, otherwise it's basically wasted utility.
Yeah. They're just trying to make sure. They obviously heard the footsteps from DA, knew that somebody was down there. It beats, though, and Gempty. They have a pretty dangerous angle here. Drayden's really left to be the anchor man and protect them, but Jaworski is slowly coming up behind them. Here's M19 on CrowCrowd. This is down the south side of the circle. They're continuing to try and push this one. Rafi is moving up. They're going to try and find him. That's going to be Sampai going down. Kemba, headshot, just about survives somehow in that shack, but I don't think he's going to be in there much longer as the nades start to pour down. They're not going to... If you can get that in that little slat, I'd be very impressed.
If not, he could just maybe work off the splash damage if it lands perfectly in the front door or just at the front door.
Has he got no meds left?
I wouldn't expect it to. He's got that side gap as well, which he might... don't even bother. Just... I'm surprised that he's not going for this one. No. Which angle
Elite
the bullet's
player
going to be.
spotted by Gempty. M19, they're splitting up too much again. They should be flushing around as that team, and they're trying to deal with Kemba down low here, realizing that They have to eliminate this threat in the back. Wanderer, okay, there we go. Underhand into... Did he just screw that up? Oh, it doesn't matter. He did screw it up, but he managed to come around and get the frag down. 6 kills for the Wanderer there, by the way, as he continues to move around. Rafid using them as that defensive barricade, effectively. Drayden just about to trip over Jorski over on the western side of the circle, while Wanted and Real's now down in that ditch. There is Jorski, finished off. Another snake found as the Knights continue on with 3 alive.
This is several times I've seen Drayden just sweeping the back lines for the rest of the Knights so they can continue forward. Finding these individual sticks and making sure that your back's covered is absolutely critical. D8.
Mike.
Quickly run into Liquid up there. He might be able to get away with his life. He does get tapped pretty hard. That's a long-range shot from a barrel as well. I'm quite impressed.
Everyone keeps peeking Iroh's little ditch, and every time he takes the head off, he's managed to work it twice now. Gets Reels down as well. The nades are going to continue on, and that may well be the end of the Knights' chances here. With just Drayden being left alone. They're all just falling short, but Drayden's miles away. He's not going to be able to get the revive here, so it's just a case of who can steal it. Well, there's Ibiza up on the hillside, but M19 are starting to sweep in. They've got the center point. They have 3 alive.
That's got to be a little bit annoying for DA.
Big problem for M19 here
steals their points.
If they don't check the backs, because Rafi is still sneaking up behind him. He's about to come over the brow of the hill, as is Drayden. They're both going to have clean angles on M19 here.
I'm surprised they're playing one solo. Like I get the 2-1 split, but not when there's still these individual snakes alive. It's really dangerous. Unless you're playing up against the edge of the blue like Drayden does, you're sweeping in slowly. I mean, that's a damn good shot. He'll make it count, and that's fine. If you are going to do it, you have to be prepared to take the frags and take the challenge that will be coming your way. Ibby finally back down to get the meds off, or whatever he's got left. I don't actually know how much gear and utility he's got. I'm going to say with the silhouette, that's going to be a first aid, so it's job done on that. D-Mash, I hope he's got a red dot for that barrel. I'm sure it was him we saw shooting long distance earlier on.
No matter what happens here, this is great points for M19. They were feeling the pressure. Reciprocity, somehow, Rafi has managed to work his way into that 5th spot. You know, considering the position they were in when they were backing into ENCE and got battered on the hillside, they were looking to go out in 16th. He's kept them going, kept snaking his way in. Now, he's in still another good position here. Drayden's going to have to show his hand here, though. He can move up to that rock, maybe have a little bit of position. I think it's down to Ibiza. Elite player is slowly stalking him on this hillside.
Let's not forget that both Rec and M19 are on 227 points there. Tied 14th and 15th. Rec been up there above them in one place because of kills. So this is M19's chance to get a bit of a jump. And when Vitality is just out of the relegation zone in 238 points, every single kill and every single placement is absolutely crucial.
So Ibiza's found himself another ledge here, another angle. Elite player stayed static, and Ibiza's completely repositioned. So if he gets another peek over the hill here, we'll see Wanderer. Wanderer might not be aware of it. X-Ray's kind of doing us no favors here. I'd like to see that off so he can show the proper positions and show really what they can see from first person.
I will say, Lee, I'm not a big fan of this split that M19's gone for. 1-1-1 when there's still this many. It's not this many that's alive, but it's how many individuals are alive.
There's 4 snakes.
Yeah, so you're looking at several different angles. I think they should be grouped up and working together here.
There we go. The Drayden's seen D-Mash. He really should finish this one off, honestly. Oh, he's kind of let himself down there with the shots. Now he's going to have force to be pushed. Wanderer goes for the angle, gets a little duck down, can't find himself a ridge, knows he has to go for it. Now, does Rafi strike off the back of that? Wanderer takes him down, gives him a position. Look at Ibby, though. Ibby's about to sneak around that side and have the angle on him. D-Mash sees Iro down low. In M19, they are making it work. 13 kills and counted. D-Mash making the push with the barrel on Ibiza.
I'm pretty sure he had the 6th time, but just instantly switches to the red dot because he knows it's time to fight. Get up close and personal. Here we go. Ibby has also scouts, a flash rider on the front of it. It's not the compensator that you want, but still. At this level of engagement, you'd have to expect the individual's gun skill here because the barrel will outdo the scar. 7.62 at this range, it's just going to hurt, and it's going to hit like a tank. Depends what grip he's got on there as well.
He's going to use that smoke to go around the right side, I feel. Elite Player's about to get an angle on him, so he's trying to push it. Rafi's making his move as well. He's coming in behind the Wanderer. Here we go. Sees D-Mash's smoke, tries to push on through it, gets a little position around it, finds D-Mash, takes him down. Shots tried to trade from Elite Player, but it's not going to work out. The Wanderer goes for it. Rafi's right on the Wanderer's back. Rafi will strike. Elite Player, the last man standing for M19. He gets around. It's Rafi versus Elite Player in a one-on-one. Rafi has the high ground. Reciprocity could take win here.
Needs to get the reload on that gun unless he goes for his secondary, which will be at long range. AKM. What's he got in the back pocket? Was that a mini? Does he have any bullets for it, though?
Bandages. He doesn't have a lot. Trying to go with what he can. Using that adrenaline shot, boosting himself fully. Here we go. Rafi's got the blue on his back, and he's got to push the shack as Elite Player tries to hold the angle. Rafi trying to work it. Gets a little scope down. Wants to get some sort of semblance. Okay, sees the outline of him. He's got to move. He's got to move. He switches to the AK. Slow approach. Get your steady aim. Get ready to go. Shows too much, and Elite Player's going to go for the double peek here, I feel. Gets her angle, and it should be Elite Player. Rafi, though, comes out on top. Reciprocity. How on earth did they steal a victory? Rafi going clutch. Waited for a very, very, very long time behind the Wanderer.